We're in a different part of the store today.
See that? We have the thread behind us. We don't have a quilt top. We have all kinds of other stuff behind us, but
we got kicked out because like it's so busy. There's a class back there, and it's class all week, and it's sold out. And so there's like no room, and then we were trying a different spot, but we got new fabric that came in, hint.
Yes,
and, like boxes of
boxes
it, and boxes of and stuff like that. So
we don't have a table to open it yet. So.
Well, there's not, and so we had to like scrimmage and try and find a little place for us to sit and record today.
Yeah, so we're at the front of the store today.
Yeah. So
and what? Yeah,
I'm just looking, okay, because back there's nothing to get my attention. But I'm like sitting there going, oh, look at the fabric.
And you know the thing is, I'm here Monday to Friday every week, and sometimes I walk around the store and I go, I didn't know we had that. I didn't see
we
that.
have so much stuff that it's hard to take it all in at once.
You put your blinders on.
New things are coming in all the time, and things are going out, and things shift around. And so it's always an adventure coming in. You could come in every day and have a new adventure.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, come on in every day and have an adventure.
And say hi. At least just say hi.
Okay. So we got a couple of things. We got lots of exciting things. So the Kona sale is still on.
Yes.
That's on until the 26th. So if you want to build up your stash of Kona, come on in. It's all the stuff on the bolt. And so it's the bolt stuff.
The stuff on the bolt. Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yes.
You can come and do that. And speaking of that, we got our clubs. So this
is this month's Kona Club.
Yeah, you got to turn to the side so you can see the colors. All right. Isn't it pretty? Kona Club's filled up. So it was not very nice of us to show you that, but we did because we wanted to if you're liking those colors and you're going, oh dang, get signed up for next month. Yeah. So because we can add more people the following month. We just need time to do it. But so these kits are already, or these packets are already sold out. It is a great opportunity. I like the basics because we have a tendency to pick things that we like, and we gravitate to those things that we like, and we don't expand our horizon. And so when you do this, you get extra colors, and you'd be surprised of how many times those are the colors that you would need, but you wouldn't be colors that you would normally pick.
Right, but you just need a little bit or add to it or
to make something pop. This one is the basics club. Yeah. And then that. So this is the basics. Isn't it pretty? There's still a few things in this one, but I'm in this one. I love my basics. And then that. So,
but this one is gone. So, so if you were thinking about it, unfortunately they're gone. But you might want to get your name on the list
for next month. Because they just keep coming in. See, and I'm not. I like the basics because I like that texture. I'm not really one for, but each month that the Kona is there, and I'm going, ooh, that's pretty. And this month I'm like going, ooh, and they're not even colors that I would pick, and I'm like, but I'm going, ooh. So it just, but then again, I'm thinking outside my box a lot lately.
Are you?
I am. We're going to talk about this, the yellows and the browns.
Oh, this is true. Pardon me.
Yeah. Okay. Classes. Now, there's a few classes here. We are, as we've said, we're just finalizing some stuff with some teachers and, getting dates picked and all those kind of things. So there should be a flood of new classes coming in. There's not a lot right now that's not full.
They're all they're all
but
pretty
we've got
much
some
full except one.
Yeah, we've got some sneak peeks. Oh, the Hello Easter. Dayna, since you're coming this way, she's going to be with us today. Do you know where my Hello Easter sample is? It's hanging on the end of one of the fabric things.
The bunny.
The bunny. The one that everyone wants to grope.
Yeah.
She knows where that is.
That is one class that there is still an opening.
Yes. Okay. We've got Rita's class. So she's got a beginner sewing class coming up.
The Irish chain.
Okay. I've taken Rita's class. We're doing the
Flying geese.
There we go, the flying geese. Or cobra chickens, as Addie calls them. Anyways, I took that class. I just want to share with you a moment with it. Okay, so even though you think you know what you're doing, okay, because, I always think I know what I'm doing. But sometimes in a class, something is said so obscure or out of the blue that it gives you that aha moment on something you've been struggling with. And one of them, for me, it is a consistent quarter inch.
Yep.
Because I line it up, or I think it's lined up, and this and that, and it just, so sometimes I'm doing great. Other times it's going, I must have been drinking, but I don't remember actually having anything. It's just really bad. And she talked about fishing. Somebody totally blew, and how when she's aiming and just it clicked in my head what I have been doing wrong. And so I've been doing my bag. Lick, lick, lick. I have to show them off. Look at my flying geese. Hey, they're amazing. I did 12 of these, and I had 12, like every quarter inch seam I did was consistent. I'm like, yay me! So take a class. Rita's amazing. So if you
Look at
her
those
Irish,
points.
yes, they're amazing. I'm so happy with myself. We have to have yummy moments. Take a class with Rita. Even if you think you know what you're doing, sometimes there's just something off, and you can't explain it, and you try asking questions. It's just somebody will say something that will click, and you're going, that's it.
Yeah. Rita's a great teacher.
She is, and she wasn't even really helping me about the quarter inch. She was talking about something completely different, but it clicked in with that, and so it's amazing.
I knew where it was because I'm one of the gropers.
That's why we were laughing. Okay, so this is the embroidery class. We've got a few spots left open. We're taking it to the next level and making it dimensional, so it's not flat. So we've got some puffy stuff. We've got this. So, and using different mediums, it's going to be a fun class, and we get to play with the mediums. Yes. And so, we're talking different threads in there, everything. So we've got that.
We have one more Husqvarna class coming up next Tuesday, and this is the last of the series of 4. The tips and tricks on quilting with your embroidery machine. So, which I've done. I guess like everybody knows, I'm addicted to my embroidery machine. So I will use it every.
We have classes for that where we encourage it.
Yes, this is very true. Very true. I'll use it any opportunity I've got. I'm mesmerized by it and the possibilities of the machine. So we're going to have some more tips and tricks coming from, I think it's Elaine again, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is her.
Yeah. Tomorrow is our sit and chatter for the embroidery club in Surrey, Saturday, and so we'll be going over the block of the month for Kimberbell, but this is the project that we're doing. I got to finish off the bow, but they're little bunny. It's made for napkins, but look, so these, if you haven't had them, they're little chocolate covered marshmallows. They're amazing, but she eats carrot cake, so that just explains a lot. So those fit in there. So if you're not one to decorate necessarily, but you want to just as for friends or families, so come in. This is all done 100% in the embroidery machine, and they're just, it's cute, it's adorable, and it's
cute.
fun.
I just wish it had a face.
But then you wouldn't see its butt.
The point.
But their tails are fuzzy. Okay.
All right.
And then we do have a class coming up from Annie.
Yes. Annie is going to be bringing us a series of organizational classes. They're going to be, there's 4. They're an hour and a half each. They each have a theme. Each day has a theme. Week 1 is working on a drawer. Whatever one, you can even bring the drawer to the class.
I think she wants you to bring the drawer to the class. So
And the week 2 is making a list. And when she gave a little talk on Customer Appreciation Day, which really motivated me to move forward with getting my sewing room organized, because
I was motivated too until I got home and looked at my sewing room and then
well,
I said, never mind.
I have to say that that was oh my god. But I am still moving forward with it. It is still a goal. I want to get it to the point that, well, it would probably help if I cleaned up every time, like even each project, if I cleaned up and sorted out after each project. But
you maximize, you maximize your sewing time, and then you run out of time, so there's no time for cleanup.
So, ideas to get organized and ongoing organizing. So she's going to give us ideas on how to, each week, on how to make these things work, and that we can actually make it a ongoing thing for us. So she's great at organizing. So I know every time she looks at my desk in there, she's thinking, wow, I'd like to get my hands on that. But
all right, this week
we have
Dayna. She's gonna share with us some cool stuff. So I'm gonna just turn the camera so she's more in it than me, and then you can see a bunch of our notions too. You're getting a good view of the store today.
Yeah, can I borrow your pen? Thank you.
Sure, you can borrow
I'm just going
Deborah's
to,
pen.
I have a list, so I want to check off the list as we go. So this week we're going to talk about some of the terms that we use when you call us asking for a part, let's say, or things that we might tell you. And I want to start with one that Tom actually requested that we include this one because it's so frequent that we get these two terms mixed up. And it also is a great chance for us to understand the importance of getting these terms right. So I want to start with presser feet versus foot controls. The reason that this is really super important is that there is a huge difference. A presser foot is something like this. I'm going to get it, try to get it kind of close to the camera. Everybody uses something similar to this. This one is a 9mm zigzag foot. It's really common, but it's just one of hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of different kinds of presser feet. Depending on your machine, they're not universal. So if you sew on a Janome Skyline S5, it's going to be different than if you sew on a Baby Lock. But it will look something like this, and it will be in the price range of something between something like $5.95 and maybe all the way up to $100 or something, depending on your machine. Usually it's closer to the low end though. This is a foot control, not a presser foot. The thing that your foot goes on is a foot control or a foot pedal. Or something of that nature. It is not a presser foot. So that brings us to the importance of these terms. If you call us asking for a presser foot and we tell you it is $10, and then you get here and you're saying, oh no, I mean the one that I step on to run the machine, it's $89.95 or something like that, that is why you might have a discrepancy. It's because what you asked for, we said, oh yes, we have that in stock and it's $10. Well, it was one of these, like there's 3 in this bag and it's tiny. Whereas the thing you wanted was something like this, an electronic thing. So that's just a really common example of getting some terms mixed up. But remember, if you step on it, it's a control, and that means that it's your foot control. If you are just putting it on top of your fabric, it's a presser foot because it's pressing down on your fabric. Okay, so that one is probably the most common one. There are some differences in the foot controls. This one, I don't have it out because it's brand new. I don't want to open the package, but this one connects to your machine, and it also, so it's the one that you step on, but it's also the power cord included. So there is a cord running from this pedal into the wall, and this or the what do you call them? The thing, the power strip. Thank you. Sorry, I'm learning Spanish, and everything comes out in like the wrong language. So anyway, there are two cords to this one. One is the power cord, and one is the one that actually runs the foot pedal. So it connects to your machine, and it does both things. This one, though, it's a foot pedal, but it does not have a power cord. So I think that we typically call these foot pedals or foot control only, and these are all-in-one foot controls. Is there something else you call them, Deb?
No, I would call it the all-in-one. Yeah.
Or we may just say directly foot control with power cord included. So that is that. Then we have just a power cord, which is this. This has one end that goes into your machine and one end that goes into the electrical service, whatever that is. So either your power strip or preferably your power strip or maybe the wall. So that's a power cord. And then we have a lead cord. So if you just be aware that if you call in and you give us a part number and it's for a lead cord, just remember that that is something that just has an electrical connection at the end that looks kind of like, I don't know, can we see that? Like this? Maybe something that would be put into the foot pedal itself, and we would actually have to do that for you. So if you ask for a lead cord, let's say you've been cruising the internet and you found, oh, the end of this that goes into my machine looks like this is the right part, and you call us up and ask for that part number, make sure that it's not a lead cord unless you intend to bring in your foot pedal and have us install that. Because otherwise you're going to go home with this and you're not going to be any farther ahead than you were before, because this will not work without us attaching it to your foot pedal. Then we've got, so let's talk about bobbin cases. There are a couple of different kinds of bobbin cases, and I just wanted to show them to you. They're both bobbin cases, but one is for a top-loading machine and one is for a front-loading machine. So we'll cover both of those things at once. A top-loading machine is the kind that you pull a little button and open up a door or a slide plate, and you drop your bobbin into the top. That kind has a bobbin case that looks similar to this, and that bobbin case generally stays inside your machine unless you're taking it out to clean underneath. That sort of bobbin case goes with a top-loading machine, whereas this you might be familiar with from your grade 8 sewing days, or you may have a machine that uses that now, and it doesn't mean that it's a low-level machine or a cheap machine. It just means that it's a front-loading machine. And this one, and actually some of them are also loading from the end. Either way, we kind of group those together because it's a bobbin case that you take out of the machine, load the bobbin into it, and then put back into the machine. So those are a little different, but they're both bobbin cases. There are different names for bobbin cases though. So if you are reading up on your machine or you're watching a video, you might hear them called a shuttle or a rotary hook, or even though that's not really the hook, I do hear them called that. They also call them an inner rotary ring. So all of those things just mean that sorry, I'm sliding out of my chair. They just mean that they're the thing that holds your bobbin. And that's the bobbin is the part that carries the thread that's on the bottom of your fabric. And I guess lastly, we've got, well, not last, the last part is I just wanted to show this piece. Most of these items look similar to this. This is a walking foot, but it's also called an even feed foot, or there's another name for it, I wrote it down, or feeder foot. So if you are following some instructions and it advises that you use a walking foot, it will probably look something like this. And if you've never used one before, it's a great time to get some instruction on how to use it, because it's not super intuitive.
You have to
Getting it onto
you
the
have to make
machine.
sure that it's installed right onto your machine, that it's hooked up. Otherwise,
Exactly.
it's just not used. It's
And-
not going to do what it's going to do.
And it must be fit for your machine. So not every walking foot will fit every machine. In fact, they typically go by brand, and then even some in the same brand line don't fit all the brand. So you have to be sure to get the right one for your machine. There is one other thing I wanted to go over as far as terminology is concerned, and that is service. And that's super important because Tom Sewing, in particular, we consider service to be sort of an all-in-one thing, but not everyone is like that. And you need to be aware of that, because while we want you to come,
questions.
that's right, you need to ask questions. We want you to come to Tom's, but we understand that sometimes we can't fit you in, or you may just be closer to some other provider. I just want to go over what these terms mean. Service for us means everything, but let's start with what the pieces are. The pieces of a service are, let's say that you have a problem with your machine. You are going to get a repair service. Some places that you go to will, if you bring in your machine, will just repair the problem and charge you a fee, and that's that. They're not doing other parts that we would normally do during service. Some places offer cleaning all by itself, and all they're going to do is whatever level of cleaning that they consider as proper.
So ask questions.
So ask, yes.
What exactly are you cleaning?
When we clean a machine, sometime during the service, it generally looks something like this.
It's naked.
Naked. That's right. Or as they
Should
say,
have put a warning.
as they
Nudity.
say, as they say down south, naked. we take all the covers off, and we take the plate cover off. So like the needle plate, we take everything that we can take off reasonably without interfering with the operation of the machine, unless there's electronics involved, and then we unplug all of that too, and we blow out all of the gunk. We clean out gunk that is interfering with operation, and we replace needles, and we do all of that. But that is something that we think
And
you
it's
cannot.
oiled.
Yeah. Oh yes. But as for the cleaning part of it, we feel like you cannot get it clean without taking all the covers off and really doing this and getting it out of the machine. So Tom and I were talking about this just now, and I tell him that I liken this to, let's say you want to clean your kitchen. You're not going to go into your kitchen, open up all your cabinets, and then take a leaf blower and blow all the dirt into your cabinets. And wouldn't that be gross? Well, that's what you're doing if you just open up a few little pieces and then blow your machine, blow it out with either a canned air or a reverse vacuum. I don't know what to call that, but they make vacuum attachments where you can reverse the vacuum and then just kind of blow it out. Now, I'm not saying they don't have any uses, because if you're only taking out the bobbin case, let's say, and then like blowing out your bobbin case separate from your machine, that's perfectly acceptable.
For general in between.
For general in between, right.
But you're blowing it into the bigger part of the machine.
No, I take it out of the machine.
Okay.
I'm glad
but I'm
you
just
said
like,
that.
just little things like that, like where we're cleaning out our bobbin case or whatever, we might push it accidentally into somewhere else.
That's right.
But
that's
when
right.
you guys pull it apart and so it's naked, you're blowing, there's nowhere else for it to go other than on the
Out.
floor
Yes.
that someone else has to vacuum.
That's right, and that would be
Addie.
when we blow it out, it goes out into the environment and not into the rest of your machine. So that's up to us to clean up later, not for you to deal with inside your machine. So again, that's cleaning for us. But if you go somewhere else, just ask, how do you clean these machines? Do you take it all the way apart? Do you do you get the covers off? It's important.
And cleaning and service. So a lot of when they say sometimes when they'll say they service the machine, reality is they just mean that they're going to clean it. They are not necessarily going to do oil. They're not going to check timing. They're not going to check all that. So you need to ask, what does your service include?
That's correct. So service to some people, to most people, service for a sewing machine will include the checking things like timing and needle bar height and all of the other things that you need to have checked. But not everybody, and not every time, and not at every price point. So just make sure that you ask. And finally, there is a difference between, so we have warranty service. If you come in and you get serviced, let's say you get a repair from us, we warranty your the service on your machine, meaning our labor, for 6 months after for household. It's different for business, it's different for school. But it doesn't mean that we warranty the parts, but we do warranty the labor, which is part of the service, right? There is also maintenance service. So maintenance service just means that you're coming in for your regular service every year or every 6 months if you sew a lot more, or maybe every 2 or 3 years if you just only occasionally sew. At any rate, all of that might be called by some of us as service. But understand, our terminology for service for ourselves does not mean you'll get that level of service everywhere you go or for every service that you buy.
So always ask questions. What does this include? And they will, they'll tell you. And if you're...
Other people besides Tom's are not going to be typically dishonest with you. I can't guarantee that, of course, but they might not tell you up front. So it's just up to you to ask. You have to advocate for yourself and make sure you're getting the service you think you're getting.
Well, even if you come into Tom's and sit there and say, okay,
for sure.
What exactly is the service going? And we'll go through and sit there and say, this, we're going to do this, and this. And, ask, okay, what the warranty? What does the warranty include? So always ask. So then you're not assuming that what you hear and what you think is a service is what you're getting.
We are happy to answer questions, and most people are. So just always ask. Make sure you're getting what you think you're getting.
Yeah.
And I think that's about all I wanted to cover. That's like a lengthy.
No, that is pretty
it's
good
perfect
because they are terms that I'll get phone calls and they were asking for a presser foot, but that's not the term they use.
Exactly, like I said, that's the most common one.
Exactly. So it's helpful to everybody if we're all starting on the same
And
level.
Honestly, I can't tell you how many times everyone I talk to that gets this, the presser foot,
Well, and
that's a foot pedal.
Yeah. So it's, and even just like with service, because I was talking with someone and they said, well, no, when you get it serviced, all it just means is they just do a blowout on it. And I'm like, no, and so when they're going, someone said that, saying, oh, well, I get it done for $20 and it's a service. Says, well, what are they doing? Oh, they're just blowing out all this stuff and going, that's not a service.
Yeah.
That because it doesn't help your machine. I mean, it does one little type of thing. And so when I explained, I'm going, really what your machine needs to have is a service.
Yeah.
The timing check, this. They're going, you're supposed to do all that? Yes.
Well,
and
ideally,
they were very shocked, and then they couldn't figure, and
not for $20.
Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with just getting your machine cleaned out. It does help a whole lot.
But if that's what you're expecting,
all these parts that are in this machine, they don't stay the way that they were when they came out of the factory, and it's important to check these once in a while. And sometimes when you use it for a while, it gets worn or it gets loose or whatever, and so it's time for actual service, which is what we consider where we check all the settings. And our service, of course, includes the repair and the cleaning.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so it's just,
you guys have a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna get
Thanks,
back to
Dayna.
work.
There we go.
Alrighty.
All right, we'll flip that back. But yeah, it really is good just to ask questions because, like I said, what I considered a service and what she thought was a service were two completely different things. And so just ask questions so that you know, and
it's on
you're
the
aware.
website under the service window. If you're going on there to book a same day service, because that is an option for regular maintenance, you can go in there and it lists what you bring with your machine and what they will do for a regular service on your machine. It expands depending upon the machine, but it is still in that is what they do.
So it just is that, you know, I think we get to a point where we just assume a whole bunch of things and we stop asking questions.
And we assume everybody's doing the same thing,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
then it
not
just
true.
and then just that's when we run into problems, because I assumed you were doing this and I assumed you were doing that or whatever, or you know, I think we just in general just ask questions, because it saves a lot of problems.
Absolutely. Then you know, buyer beware.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's really some great information on terminology.
Yep.
And different things, because I know when I talk, you know, that thingamabob.
Yeah, and when you're on the other end of the phone, that's not so easy to know the thing in the bob.
The thingamabob, yes. Yes, that is why we don't diagnose over the phone.
Absolutely.
Because you can't see. You can't know what, and as much as you feel you're doing a great job of explaining, it's still something missing. And so it really is. If you have any concerns, just bring it in and we'll give it a quick look. And then see what's kind of going on sometimes. And they'll go, yeah, no, it needs service. It needs this. Whatever it may be. It may not be a full diagnosis, because a lot of times you can't.
Right.
But they can hear it going, yeah, there's that noise. That's not good. Or, no, that's just the way your machine. Or
timing's out, whatever.
Yeah.
Those
little things. So.
Okay.
All right.
So I think that's it for today, this week.
It is, I think.
And guess what? We'll be back here same time next week.
We will. And what do we have?
What?
Hopefully we'll have more things on the calendar next week.
Oh, yes. Yes, I hope so.
We have so many in the works right now. I have too many in the works right now. I think I have 9 classes that I'm putting in the calendar.
Wow.
Over the course
Okay,
of
well,
the
get the information in.
I am. But it's like over the course of the next 6 months. Well, some of them are series.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll give her that. Okay.
All right. Have fun. Stay out of trouble. Don't get wet and melt.
We'll see you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.